The true biography of Felix Manalo is a good, written and created by your humble servant, Jerry Cahelon. Just call me Tatang JC. Thank you very much. Before I proceed, my very dear brothers and sisters, friends, countrymen, and acquaintances, may you please don't forget to like, share my videos, and subscribe also to my YouTube channel so you can easily follow through on my next significant manifestations or testimonies. Thank you very much. Part 15 of the Biography of Felix Manalo is a good. Since the year 1922, Sir Felix Y. Manalo continued playing the minds of many of our people thirsty of the Word of God. This was followed by the changes in the already crooked teachings and twisted doctrines within his cult and bogus Iglesia ni Cristo, INCorporation. He was very good in transforming or transfiguring his image and his church in the eyes of the public. This, in fact, was his concrete foundation or capital investment in captivating pitiful souls. This correlated with his known gambling traits and habit as a cunning banker in cockfighting. Sir Felix said investment in his church is the so-called set of 4 playing cards of aces. In other words, these were the 4 images of Sir Felix Y. Manalo's cunning or crooked thoughts. For many of you, in order to understand the cunning or crooked thoughts of Sir Felix Y. Manalo, here is the explanation or meaning to it in full detail. The first card of ace being played by Sir Felix Y. Manalo within his thought. Thus, he stole the prophecy in the book of prophet Isaiah for being him as the raven or bird of prey. He elevated his own human nature in order to be recognized as elected or exclusively promoted by God to preach the word in the last days. Therefore, Sir Felix doesn't need to be ordained by anyone by virtue of him being elected already by God per se. The second card of ace being played by Sir Felix Y. Manalo within his thought. Thus, he emptied the godliness or divine nature of the Lord Jesus Christ by making him simply a natural human being. Instead, Sir Felix Y. Manalo promoted or manifested himself more into an angel or divine messenger of God per se. This is to acquire and redirect the attention of the greater public toward himself alone, thus ultimately raising his own status quo and morality. The third card of ace being played by Sir Felix Y. Manalo within his thought. Thus, he connected the prophecy in the book of Revelations of Apostle John as the basis of his own manifestation per se, with the establishment of his own cult and bogus Iglesia ni Cristo INCorporation. This became also the basis of his own manifestation relative with the prophecy by proclaiming himself being the fifth angel and last messenger of God per se. Along with this, he aligned or connected the establishment of his bogus church to the historic First World War in order to make it popular and believable. Moreover, he was able to fool and convince many people of him being an angel, and thus made him greedy of material world. Sir Felix re-registered his cult society to change the original teachings and its format into a sole corporation to benefit his selfish interest. He changed the letter K into a C in the word Cristo from the original name of his cult and bogus church, Iglesia ni Cristo. Henceforth, he named it Iglesia ni Cristo, INC. This was intended to hide the corporate truth of its commercial-like or business-like nature, which may be perceived by his mostly illiterate or ignorant members at the time. The fourth card of Ace being played by Sir Felix Manalo within his thought. Thus, he increased or bloated up the number of members he declared in his newly re-registered church membership registry, along with the changes in teachings and doctrines. Henceforth, his church's humongous membership can no longer be denied, and his own administration or leadership solely decide and manufacture whatever number the administration may wish to present to the public. In short, there is no clear process or mechanism to verify or scrutinize the true number of members in his cult church. Therefore, they are in control of the number of memberships presented and when the numbers are presented. In this logical way, the number of members listed in Sir Felix Manalo's cult church in members registry or roster is inflated or bloated up based on the total number of chapels or houses of worship built. These false statistics are based on a ratio of the number of chapels built on acquired properties, big or small, donated per se, to the number of members being falsely manufactured. This formulated scam dictates the total bogus number of members being published in the church overall census or members statistical registry. This bogus image was embedded in the minds of the general public, which blinded their eyes and cheated them of their understanding about the true picture of the membership progress. The increase in the number of chapels or houses of worship which were built and continuously being built by the administration of Sir Felix Manalo was in use while also being used as the basis, foundation, or proof of the increasing church membership. Therefore, the general public was led to believe by this notion that the bogus Iglesia ni Cristo INCorporation is of true God because of the increasing number of members per se. However, in fact, it was all a big scam. Why? Because The character of Sir Felix Y. Manalo is being a handy banker, or he was well known for being the kind of blessed Christ in the arena of cockfighting. Sir Felix and his administration strived to greatly increase the number of chapels being built as quickly as possible, considerably and always bragging the increasing number of chapels built to make the cult and bogus Iglesia ni Cristo INCorporation's image more remarkable to the public. In this manner, the inflation of numbers in membership became so easy and much more believable. This kind of investment scam or card game playing in his own church allured many political candidates and parties. They were fooled or made crazy into courting, coaxing, and donating many forms of goods, money, and services to Sir Felix Y. Manalo's cult society or church. Their traditionally unblemished nature and human desire to faithfully serve our mother country, the Philippines, were forever lost. The sanity and equity of these crooked politicians were likewise wasted by betting their souls to the forbidden game or scam being played in the bogus Iglesia ni Cristo INCorporation of Sir Felix Y. Manalo. These imbecile political candidates are likened to salivating foolish wolves wanting to savor the magical vote or endorsement of the pogo or casino banker and cockfight promoter, henceforth having the power to influence the outcome of the voting process during any election in favor of the endorsed political candidate or party per se, due to his large number of chapels or voting members. On the other hand, or opposite side of all this, Sir Felix Y. Manalo and his administration or crony started to become richer and wealthier by way of this form of gambling scheme or scam. Henceforth, in 1936, the division of Batangas was established under the administration of Mr. Eugenio Cortez, and the division of Tayabas, presently called the Quezon Province, under the administration of Mr. Glicerio Santos Sr., who is the wife of Mrs. Basilia Santos, who then buried children, secretly fathered by Sir Felix. The division of Cebu was founded in 1937 under the management of Mr. Alipio Apolonio, and the division of Ilocos Norte under the management of Mr. Placido Pascua in 1938. Afterwards, after long years of waiting by the brethren in hometown or birthplace of Sir Felix, which resided in the Rizal province, a division was finally established in 1939 under the administration of Mr. Telesforo S. Cruz. At this point in time, the church membership was bloated so much to more than 500,000 members, which was published by the administration of Sir Felix Y. Manalo. Of course, this was falsely based only on the increased number of chapels or house of worship built. It was horrific for such a falsely made-up membership number. However, it greatly polished the image of the cult and bogus Iglesia ni Cristo INCorporation. Eventually, this scam financially enriched its overall administration or leadership during every election season. The corruption, as well as the sickening greed in the cult church of Sir Felix Y. Manalo, were no longer can be taken in or ingested by many of his brethren. Just like in the case of those church makers or emissaries and ministers who drop out and founded their own churches before. Likewise, to that case which had happened to Miss Rosita Trillanes, who decisively exposed the truth about the lewdness, wild sexual perversions, and harassment to her of Sir Felix. Miss Rosita Trillanes was sexually molested and raped many times before by him while she was a teenager, whereby she ended up suing him in court. The same abuses also happened to many women like her in his church, one of them being Mrs. Teresa Teodoro, who had a baby girl fathered by Sir Felix and was later silenced by unknown reasons. Also, the beautiful wife of a minister, Mrs. Basilia Santos, was secretly fathered with 2 boys, was later silenced by the promise of her family acquiring the church inheritance and power through Sir Felix Y. Manalo. That was why the Santos family possessed hidden ownership and inherited power within the Iglesia ni Cristo INCorporation. In the coming of the year 1939, Sir Felix Y. Manalo filed a lawsuit or countersuit in the judicial court alleging libel or defamation, the favorite form of lawsuit by Sir Felix Manalo against his enemies, against Miss Rosita Trillanes. This is to counter her lawsuit made against him for alleged sexual molestations and rape. Moreover, the corrupt church of Sir Felix Y. Manalo had already made powerful connections with many elected politicians in various sectors of the Commonwealth government in the Philippines, which was established in 1935. Notably, in the Nacionalista Party, headed by his very close friend, President Manuel L. Quezon, who was a brother in Freemasonry. With this, he had a powerful influence in the government or in political arena. Therefore, he had the ability to delay multiple judicial proceedings or hearings of court cases against him, which were filed by Miss Rosita Trillanes. Now, while the humble Miss Rosita Trillanes was waiting for her very uncertain justice, the world was again being vigorously shaken by turmoil and chaos. The closing of the year 1939, multiple conversations about imminent war in Central Europe and surrounding parts of continental Asia were being heard. Japan had been causing serious trouble in Asia, and numerous accounts about Germany causing much chaos and its invasion in neighboring countries. Consequently, many of our countrymen were again seriously in fear about the possibility of a Second World War. To my very dear brothers and sisters, friends, countrymen and acquaintances, may you please stay tuned for the upcoming Part 16 of the Biography of Sir Felix Manalo Isagun in my next presentation on the Internet of the Cyber World. Again, to my very dear brothers and sisters, friends, countrymen, and acquaintances, may you please don't forget to like, share my videos, and subscribe also to my YouTube channel so you can easily follow through on my next significant manifestations or testimonies. Thank you very much.